building over 100 homes this year.
What is this?
Post-pro group. Well, we're back. So just give us some updates. What's going on? What is going on in Chattanooga? What is some chat news for us?
So yeah, last week I was at the East Chat community meeting, and I'm going to more and more of these community meetings to kind of see what the people want, because the type of development I want to do, I'm reading a 10-year plan, and I'm bringing what the city and city council have already said that they needed. For example, I read the 10-year plan, and I know the city of Eastdale needs, well, not city of Eastdale, but they need a bank. So that's one of the things on the forefront that I'm thinking about down the line. Of course, I got a full plate right now, but down the line, that will be in my vision to bring a bank to that side of town, so the people of Eastdale in that community don't have to go all the way across town just to do their banking.
Okay. And I know that they're doing something about green. What is it called again? Green
It's called
City?
City in the Park.
City in the Park.
Uh-huh.
Tell me a little bit about City in the Park. What is Chattanooga doing about that? What's the big deal about that?
Well, I think what they're doing is trying to reinvent Chattanooga to turn it into a park city.
Okay.
From my understanding, they're going to put a park in every nook and cranny they can to make it a park city and reinvent Chattanooga. So that's pretty exciting, just because the development that we're bringing, VE, Valentina Estates, we have a park type feel that I'm going for. So it's like your own little oasis. It's going to be gated. You're going to have tree obstruction, to separate, everything. So I think we're right on time. I really need to get with those people to see, what their vision is, so we can kind of collaborate and play off each other.
Yeah, because I was going to say Valentina Estates has a lot of green space that makes up majority of the neighborhood. That's literally what the neighborhood is. It's just a whole bunch of green space. Like you said, an oasis. So I think that's going to be like perfect for what Chattanooga has in store and what they're trying to bring into the community. So I want to know a little bit about assemblages. I know that's what we're talking about today. That's the topic today. What is the purpose of assemblages? Why are they important? What is the need for them? What do they do? Like, just give us the feel.
Well, to break it down, this is the way I would break it down so the masses could really understand who don't know about assemblages already. If you've ever played the game of Monopoly and you had to get all the reds, all the greens, this is the way I play. I know everybody don't read the instructions and they make up their own way of playing, but this is the way I play it. In order to put a hotel on your properties, you had to have all of one color. So you have to have either all the green, all the red, all the yellow, all the blue, all the purple, light purple, and then you can put a hotel on it. So an assemblage is nothing more than that. Taking a property and getting the adjacent properties around it and making a bigger play. That's what an assemblage is.
Okay. So that's what you are doing in Chattanooga right now. Can you tell us a little bit more about in what area you're doing it in? Have you already started it, or what's that?
Yeah, so I've completed 2 assemblages in Chattanooga that I can remember.
Okay.
I thought I did more, but right now we'll talk about the 2 that I've done. So the first assemblage I completed was Wilcox, 2301 Wilcox and 0 Wilcox. One of the plots of land doesn't have an address yet. Okay. I combined those 2 to make 0.7 acres of commercial space. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with it. That land is pretty much paid off, so I'm kind of sitting on it, and I'll get to it once we get some headway in completing the 100 homes that we got on our plate right now. The second assemblage that I completed was the Valentina Estates deal, which was 8.5 acres, and the Westdale deal, which was 18.5 acres. And those are connected to each other. So I went from 8.5 acres to around 26.5 acres, something like that.
Nice.
So that's an assemblage. Okay. And that way, you can kind of control the whole street. Another deal that I did, I wouldn't call this an assemblage because it actually came with multiple parcels. Now I did try to get other houses on that street, but to no avail. But it came with a car wash that I'm gonna tear down, and it came with a house on it as well. So in essence, that would be an assemblage because they both came together.
So is that like a package deal? Like, is that why you want to purchase assemblages, like the one that you just said that has the car wash on the lot, is it considered like a package deal? Is it a better benefit at the end of the day?
Yeah, for sure. Because it's funny, man. The way I got Germantown, let's call it Germantown so we don't convolute it, because I don't want to get it confused with the car wash that we have that's up and running. But Germantown, I was actually getting ready to leave the city and come back to Atlanta. And I was looking at a flip. I was leaving looking at a flip, and I was on my way headed to the interstate. I rolled by, and I saw this white abandoned car wash, and I turned around. I had my family in the car. I turned around. I pulled back up. I researched who owned it, and come to find out, it was the same guy that I bought one of the Wilcox plots from. So I called him. I said, "Hey, what you gonna do with this car wash? Are you looking to sell?" And he said he would get with his dad. We went back and forth for about a year. I followed up for about a year straight. Sometimes I didn't get a reply. I'm talking about following up every 6 weeks, like clockwork, not getting a response, and not feeling any type of way about it, because I was just gonna keep following up until he told me to stop. And one day, he texted me, said, "Hey, I'm ready to sell."
Oh wow.
Yeah, but at the time I wasn't ready.
Oh, okay.
Because I had so much stuff going on myself. Then we started negotiating more, and long story short, we ended up closing on that deal. And this is the thing, I was after the car wash, but what he told me, he said, "Yeah, and the house comes with it." And I was like, "Oh, really?"
So this is something you wouldn't have even known had you never like inquired about it or anything like that.
Right. But by me buying that previous land from him, he know, and we had a smooth transaction. He knows I'm a real buyer. He knows I'm gonna do what I'm gonna say I'm gonna do, and if I want it, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
So why would he put it on the market when he know he got a deal right here? He named the price. I said, "How much you want for it?" He said, $150. And I'm thinking $150 for that one piece of land, which would have been a good deal. But he said the house came with it. The house is on R4.
Oh, wow.
So I could have built a quadruplex right there. That was my initial plan. The car wash was on C2. I could have tore that down and built another commercial space. But my plan is to tear it all down. And now I got an Acre commercial space adjacent to the most busiest street in the city.
Nice. So it's almost like anytime you're out and about, your mind is like always looking for deals.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what.
For sure. So let me tell you a story. When I was a realtor, and I hated every minute of being a realtor. But sometimes, and this is the thing, you might learn something from this. Sometimes you got to do stuff you don't want to do to get to where you want to go. Like, I hated being a realtor. It wasn't my personality. I wasn't the type that walked through, was like, "Hey, here's the foyer, here's the kitchen, woo, woo, woo." I was one of them realtors, like, I knew my stuff. Trust me. Yeah. I'm going to make sure the number's right. You know what I'm saying? And, sometimes that didn't go over well with people. So my race was to get to the investing side as quick as possible. So what I used to do on the weekends, I would drive and get off on every exit, drive down every corridor. And this was before the software had came out, like Deal Machine and all that. So I'm handwriting all this stuff. I'm handwriting all the addresses. I'm looking up who own it, and going down every corridor. Once I bleed the block, I'm going down to the next exit. I'm doing the same thing in the next corridor. Wow. Bleed that block, go down to the next one, So by me doing that, that was my routine. And I did that so much, like now I could be going to Publix. It's automatically in me to be looking for opportunity.
It's just second nature.
Yeah, it's not like I'm going driving for dollars. Like, that's just embedded in me.
Yeah. So can you explain like the action steps to building an assembly, or assemblage?
Well, it's not really building, it's actually putting it together. So for example, hold on. So you mean to tell me you getting all this game and you ain't liked or subscribed yet? Come on, man. Let's take the Valentina Estates in Westdale deal. I got that. I bought that land. I started development on that. Somebody else came to me in a neighborhood meeting saying that they had 18 acres and 19 acres to sell. So I went and looked at that, and I didn't even know that it was connected until I got this survey back. And I'm like, oh man, like it's really like connected adjacent to it.
Yeah.
And so that's when I came up. I was like, okay, this is phase 1. Westdale is phase 2. And that's how we put the assemblage together. It's basically acquiring plots of land that's connected or adjacent to each other.
Nice.
To make a bigger play.
So like, are there problems that come with this process, or like, if there are problems, what are the solutions that would come with this process?
I would say if you ever run into a problem trying to put an assemblage together, that's if one of the pieces that you need to complete the assemblage, one of the sellers don't want to sell. That's one of the main problems. And what I usually do, I make it sweet for people. Like, I don't mind, I'll start off with my offer, but then it's like, I don't mind bringing them in as a silent partner. You got the land, I operate, let's work out a deal. But that'll be one of the problems. Like, it's the same thing with Monopoly, like the example I gave you earlier.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a Monopoly game and you had 2 out of the 3 and the other person with the color didn't want to sell? Yeah. So, like, you know what I'm saying?
I never played Monopoly, but you gave me a great introduction to it. So,
right.
Okay.
So if I had both of the reds and you had the third red property and I needed that for my hotel, I would just make a deal with you, and my deal would get sweeter and sweeter to get you to comply and sell me that land. So let's say, for example, first I'll be like, hey, if you land on it, I won't make you pay.
Okay.
That'll be good, right?
Yeah.
Or I'll say, look, if you land on it, I won't make you pay, and I'll give you one of my light blue properties. Because now you can complete your assemblage, but neither one of us pay if we land on each other's property.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of like now, if you got a problem with somebody that don't want to sell, now you just got to go in negotiation mode and make the deal sweet for them.
Okay, so you're really looking at this like a game. Like, that's how you're looking at it. You have to be very strategic, very focused. Like, it's not just, okay, I'm just gonna go offer here, offer there.
Yeah, because this is the thing, right? I grew up playing Monopoly in the neighborhood. Like, we used to play Monopoly in the hallways. Like, shout out to the West Side Youth Center. Man, y'all got me playing Monopoly, and subconsciously, I was doing real estate all along. It was just disguised as a game. Yeah. So now I'm really in it, and like now it's just like, oh, what's an assemblage? I'm like, oh shit, I've been doing that, trying to get all the colors on one block. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just subconsciously I've been doing it. So now it just comes second nature.
So that was why I also wanted to ask you, like, why Westdale? Why this area? What about it is making you want to build assemblages and expand in this area?
I think in the next couple of years, Chattanooga is going to end up being tapped. Just like Austin is now, just like Atlanta is now. It's getting more dense, so people are getting more spread out. I think, so you got to jump on the land while it's here. Yeah. Because, once it's acquired and, it's either you develop it or you're going to sell it to a national builder. And now, they're doing build to rents. That land never comes back on the market. That is true. You know what I'm saying? That opportunity is never there again. Yeah. So the reason why I jumped on it, like I said, I didn't even know that there was that much acreage in Eastdale. You know what I'm saying? So when I found that out, I jumped on it, and on top of that, I'm getting it for $6,000 an acre. I mean, if you really know real estate and development, that's a no-brainer. Yeah. I'm paying $6,000 an acre for some land, and if you know the city ordinance, which I know, you can get 5 houses per acre. So I could put a house on a plot of land that I paid a little over $1,000 for. Yeah.
What I'm seeing here is like a pattern. Like, you don't wait. Like, if you see something, you just hop on it. Like, if you see if it's a good deal, you're not hesitant about it. Like, maybe I should wait. Like, you just go ahead and get the deal done.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Because when you know your numbers, you can act quicker. When that's those fundamentals of the game. Like that deal writing. I know years ago I had a deal underwriting course for free. It's on YouTube now. But where I just go and my team, they'll send me random deals that they working on, and I underwrite them on live, on the spot. I haven't looked at them previously. Wow. Nothing. Because it's a formula that I look at. You know what I'm saying? What I'm getting it for, how much work I'm going to have to put in it, how much time it's going to take me to do it, what I'm going to sell it for. Though, with those parameters, I can know if this deal is worth my time or not. But if you don't know the fundamentals, you can't pull the trigger quicker than me.
Right.
So that's why I'm saying, like, you gotta have your fundamentals down. I'm not gonna hesitate because I can run the numbers in my head and be like, oh, that's a deal, that's a play. What are you excited about that we're doing?
What am I excited about? I think I'm most excited about just a Black entrepreneur that is putting more homes in the community, because I don't know if y'all talked about like the housing crisis in the past episode, but actually that's what we could talk about, like the housing crisis in Chattanooga, how it correlates to Valentina Estates, and why is it like so important for Valentina Estates, and what is Valentina Estates doing to, solve that problem?
Yeah, so one of the things that we're doing, we're trying to get with city officials and the mayor to get subsidies from them. And that's just one facet of it. We're also looking for outside entities, independent entities for grants and things like that to help with attainable housing. Because this is the thing. Everybody wants attainable housing. Everybody wants developers to do attainable housing. But developers, we can't do it on our own. We need help. We need subsidies. We need tax credits, things like that. Because this is the thing. If I'm paying market value for the land, I'm paying market value for the materials. I got overhead that's market value, and I can't go underwater and sell it at a discount. So it's a collective effort. Whether I'm getting grants, tax credits, subsidies from the city, or things like that. But all of those things are needed. So it's definitely a group effort. So I think everybody kind of need to tap in and get on the same page so we can move forward instead of everybody moving individually.
So I also want to know, like, how do you just manage all these things in your brain? Because obviously being a developer, there's multiple realms that you have to be in. So like you have to be with the general contractors, you have to be with the permits, you have to be with the tax credits, stuff like that. Like, how do you compartmentalize? How do you compartmentalize? That's still wrong. How do you just keep everything in your mind and keep structure and, progress?
Man, I'm constantly running these things through my mind. Like when I'm driving, it's just a part of me, I know what my GC needs to be doing, which is getting quotes and getting everything from their subs, and I'm following up with that. I know what my silver needs to be doing in this moment is getting the LDP approved, the land disturbance permit. My architect is pretty much done, so they're cool. I know what my attorney needs to be doing, but my attorney can't finish what she needs to do, which is finishing out my builder's contract and my HOA docs until we get the site plan stamped, which comes from my civil.
Yeah.
So I know all of these things that needs to be done, and that's just one deal. And as you know, we're working on multiple deals.
Right.
I got you. I got Av, to help. I got my team to help remind me of different stuff. We use Monday, that software. We use Slack to kind of communicate. And, like I said, just knowing that and having deadlines. That also helps me keep track of where everything needs to be.
Okay. And also, do you see any more assemblages that you're interested in doing in the future? Or if you could choose a place where you want to do your next assemblage, where would that place be?
Well, I'm always looking, and to put assemblage together for me is always going to be a good thing because you're making one play a bigger play. So every time I get a deal, I'm trying to buy up everything around it. So that's second nature to me now. It's not, I got this land, let's roll with this. No, I'm mailing and calling everybody around this land as well. Speaking of that, one of the neighbors reached out to me after I bought Westdale a couple of days ago on Facebook. They found me on Facebook. They let me know that they own land that's touching Westdale, and if I will be interested in either partnering with them or buying the land from them. Nice. Yesterday I was researching the land and everything, and that is going to expand the current assemblage that we already have. The same thing. So I know we're talking about assemblages. I'm just trying to explain how my mind works. Like also when I get a piece of land, I'm not going for what the current zoning is. I'm trying to go for the highest density, highest and best use. That land that we got on Brad Street where we're doing the 4 townhomes, that was zoned for 1 unit. I rezoned that to get 4 units on it.
So you're trying to maximize each lot.
The price I paid for the land didn't change. I increased the value of that though, just by going through zoning. So if you know zoning, I mean, you could really change your balance sheet really quickly.
So like, these are things also that you're considering when you're thinking about a deal, when you're looking for deals. How can I maximize this deal to its greatest potential?
For sure. Yeah. Because what I buy from you for is one thing. But if I increase the value, that just make the deal sweeter.
Nice.
So going back to Brad Street, what we're going to do to Cali Townhomes, my cousin, who I'm partnered with on that deal, paid $2,700 for that land back in 2016.
Wow.
And he's been sitting on it ever since. And we decided to partner up. I rezoned it. Now, that land that we paid $2,700 for has an ARV of about $1.2 million when we complete these 4 townhouses. And that's crazy. Just at $260,000 each unit.
Wow. That is insane. That is crazy. If you guys enjoyed the video today, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Leave a comment below of any questions that you may have of Valentina Estates, anything in Chattanooga, anything in Atlanta. We literally have a pro of development right in front of us. So make sure you ask your questions, get some answers, and yeah, take advantage of what you see here today. Thank you. Where do you see Post Pro Group in the next, I'll say, year?
So my vision for Post Pro will be to, even though we're already doing it now, I want to tighten up some things, tighten up our systems, probably add 1 or 2 more people to the team. I don't want to have a huge team. I think at 8, I think that's the sweet spot for me. I always like to have a Navy SEAL team, you know, a team full of specialists, you know, it's not too big, it's not too small. Everybody know what they're doing, and we kicking ass when it's time. So my vision is to turn this into a private equity firm where we're, my boy Nipsey Hussle said this on the interview, the goal is to have a core business and then build an enterprise around it. So our core business is real estate, whether we're flipping, listing, developing. That's our core business. And now we're building an enterprise around it with the car washes. We have another deal. I don't want to speak on it too soon because we haven't closed on it yet. But that's going to be me purchasing a $4 million home and turning that into a business. Like I said, I don't want to speak too much on that, but building an enterprise around that. So not just having 2 car washes, having 30 of them.
Okay.
And, you know, we're running businesses and buying and selling businesses as well. So my vision is not just limited to real estate. We want to be an investment firm. I'm studying a lot of BlackRock right now, seeing how they started. You know, here's a fun fact. I think they control 36% of the GDP.
Oh, wow.
That's
I
a
didn't
lot.
know that.
Like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
One company controls 36 of the GDP. Look it up.
That's insane.
I've been studying them a lot lately. Like, I was telling this to one of my guys yesterday. I'm like, man, I'm not looking on the internet. Like, I'm not at that level of trying to be cool and this trendy shit of influencer and all that. Man, I'm going straight to the top, man. I'm looking at the real killers, BlackRock. And you probably never even heard of them because that's how they want it.
Yeah.
Like, they don't
Silent.
want you. Yeah. They in the back. Them the real killers.
Right.
Yeah.
So I know you have like a lot of developments in Chattanooga. You have developments that you've done in Atlanta. Do you see yourself doing more developments in Atlanta?
Oh yeah, we about to burn it up. Oh yeah, we about to burn it up. And the way it kind of got flip flop was, I got one deal up there, and then I got another deal, and then I got another deal, and I got another deal, and it kind of snowballed. I'm like, oh,
and people
shit.
were coming to you asking.
Yeah, stuff was just falling in my lap. And, you know, I'm getting it. So I got like 7 deals going on up there.
Yeah.
You know, but in a perfect world, we'll be doing deals in both places. You know, so definitely Atlanta going to be jumping as well.
What about surrounding states like Florida, Alabama? Like, have you ever had any interest in those states?
Yeah, for sure. Florida is one of my markets that I want to get into. I've been looking at Jacksonville and Tampa. I was actually close to getting a deal in Tampa, doing some tiny homes down there. But something happened with the zoning of the land. I'm in negotiations with one of my boardroom members to do a deal with him in Iowa to do some development up there. But honestly, right now, I'm focused on Tennessee, Georgia, and Florida.
Okay, so those are the main things. Okay.
I really, and because like for me, it's enough deals here. Now, if I get some partnerships like the one in Iowa, I'll definitely jump on it. That guy's a good guy. He's running his own successful business. So, I would love to do that. We're in talks to make that happen now. But as much as I drive from Tennessee to Georgia and Georgia back to Tennessee, until I tap those two markets and everything in between, I'm pretty much good.
Yeah. So you don't really believe in just one little project, like one lot. You believe in like, if I'm going to buy a lot here, I'm going to buy everything around it.
I'm just a killer. That's just how my mindset works. It's funny, man. Like even when I'm playing basketball, like I remember one game I had broke a record. I had like 30 rebounds in the game. And I'm sitting at the press conference, and everybody's like, oh, like they all congratulate me and stuff. And I'm just thinking like, damn, I'm just thinking about the 4 that bounced through my hands.
Oh, wow.
Like, I could have had 34.
Right. But you just won the game.
Yeah. But. And then coach, I set out the last 4 minutes of the game. So I was pissed off about that. I was like, damn, I could have had 40. Like, I just always wanted more. Like, it wasn't on no selfish stuff, but it's just like, I'm just out for blood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's never enough.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, so it's never enough for you. You always are looking for the next best thing, the next best deal. What do you think the largest deal would be for you? Or like, what do you think the largest development would be for you? Or what's a goal for you that you have?
I really don't look at it like that. As far as like, what's the largest goal? I know I could tell you what I do want. I could tell you what my plan would be. Because one day it's going to come a time where I'm going to have to retire, right? So my plan will be on my last deal to do a massive build and rent deal and just hold those and ride off in the sunset and, have me a condo in Cancun, my second home. I used to play ball in Cancun. I love Cancun. Just turn into a shark and just invest. You got your PhD in assemblages, right?
Yeah, now I know everything about assemblages. I mean, I know how to start the assemblage, what to go right with the assemblage, what's wrong with the assemblage. I know everything, honestly. I feel like I can teach a class.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you would ever teach a class about any of this stuff or your knowledge? Like, we need more.
I know. I've been trying to dibble into that, but it's for me. I'm so into doing it and we got so much on the table, it's hard for me to carve out time to sit and teach. But the way I like to teach, and this is probably could be a compromise, I like to teach while I'm actively in it.
So like hands-on.
While I'm on site, you just got the camera there and I'm chopping it up about what's going on, you know, not really sitting in front of a whiteboard talking about, real estate one-on-one, some regurgitate some shit you can find on the internet. You know? Like I want to be out there with the plumber, like, hey, this is what he doing, woo woo woo. I'm up there with the roofer, like, hey, this is why he's doing what he's doing.
Right, like real life events.
Yeah. Like, and then another, like, it's just the teaching space done got so convoluted. Like you don't know who to trust, you don't know who real, who fake. They show up with a leased Rolls Royce or leased car, and you think they know what they doing, but the course is paying for the car. Like it's weird.
It is.
I really don't want to be a part of that. So if you see me teaching, I'm gonna be teaching while I'm in the mix. Right.
And I think it's important for people to see their instructor doing the things that they're talking about. Like,
yeah, because there's a lot of people can't show no hoods. You know what I'm saying? They ain't doing what they supposed to do, but that ain't my problem. I just hate it for the people who eating it up. Because like it's like shiny object syndrome. It's like, oh, he got a car. He gotta know what he doing.
Yeah.
They come to get that, mom. Right. That's what you don't know.
Okay. Well, I think that's a lot about assemblages. I think we covered. I think, we gave the people what they need to know about assemblages.
I think we gave them some shit they can't Google.
Yes, just a little bit. Not too much, but I think that was good.
Yeah. See you on the next episode.
What is this?
Post-Pro Group. That was another episode of Make It Out Double Back. You got a little information about assemblages. Now you know a little bit more about it. Go ahead, go out, find you some deals. Don't just do one deal, but do the deals around it. Don't just stay at one, you know. Get more and maximize all the benefits in the deal. So if you didn't learn anything from this podcast, at least you know that. And yeah, just tap in with us. Stay in tuned. There's a lot of things coming with Valentina Estates. And yeah, just stay in tune.
Make it out double back. Be out for blood, baby.